Hi, my name is Jameson. I'm transgender, and I was not born in the wrong body. I was born in the wrong culture. When I tell people that, they look at me like I said some inherently contradictory statement. But I think we really need to think about that line, born in the wrong body. At this point, it's become like the definition of transgender. It's become that one quick line that people can, if they know anything about transgender, that they cling on to very quickly. Um, and I think a lot of trans guys or a lot of trans people in general say it without even thinking about what it means. And so there's some issues with it. For one, there's people like me who don't believe it. Um, Second of all, there's people who choose not to physically transition, not to medically transition, and so what does it say about them? Are they less trans because they decide that they rather stay in their wrong body? Um, and then it also applies to people, or it can apply to some people that are religious, um, that God made a mistake, that you were born in the wrong body, so God fucked up and put you in the wrong body. And not every religious person is going to take it like that, but it draws some unnecessary criticism that I think we can avoid. And I think we need to stop simplifying things like this and stop assuming that everyone feels this way. And so let me explain my statement a little bit more. I wasn't born in the wrong body. I was born in the wrong culture. We have to realize that this distinct binary between male and female is very much a Western construct. It's very much rooted in patriarchy. It's very much rooted very recently in history. There's lots of places around the world where they accept, acknowledge something other than male and female, another gender category in their society, and they have words for it. And so in some cultures, they even have designations, like a place in their culture for people who identify as that. They have a role in society. And just to name a few that you can Google yourself, you have the Warriors in Indonesia, you have the Hijras in India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, you have the idea of two-spirit in many Native American cultures, you have the sworn virgins in the Balkans, you have the Fa'afafines in the Polynesia, which is made of over 1,000 small islands, and lots of them have these categories. You have I think it's the Kathuis in Thailand, in Nepal. You have variations in many very Latin American countries. You have even some Middle Eastern countries that had designations. A lot of the countries had some kind of Islamic revitalization that kind of changed that a little bit, but like in their histories, and many countries still presently, they have designations for people who don't identify as male or female. And so we need to realize this, that it wasn't my body that was wrong. I was born in a culture that doesn't recognize my variation. And because of this, if I want to live a normal, life in this society, it kind of forces us to go one way or the other. And of course, we don't have to. This is all a personal choice. It's a personal choice for us to transition, but it's not a personal choice for us to be transgendered. Whether you transition medically or not, you are still transgender. Um, and so, but just our culture doesn't recognize that. And so, you know, and people say, well, what? Even, I wouldn't be dysphoric if I was born in a different culture that was accepting. Like, I still don't like my chest. I still don't like what's under my belt. I still don't like, my girly face, or, blah, blah, blah. Well, think about it. Like, why do people become dysphoric? You don't think that the society and the way that things that have been ingrained in your mind since you were little about what's male and what's female, and who's the provider in the family, all these stereotypes about what male and female mean and what kind of behaviors like male and females identify with, that's all based in your society and your culture, you don't think these maybe made you feel bad about yourself because you don't fit that definition physically, but you feel like you fit that definition mentally? I mean, it's the same way that, girls, look at pictures of like skinny bitches in magazines and they feel bad about their bodies. They feel like maybe they were, there's something wrong with them because they feel very feminine, they feel very beautiful, but yet they don't fit this image that society has ingrained in them of what they are supposed to be. So yes, I think that if I was born in a different culture, that maybe I wouldn't feel the need to medically transition. If I didn't have to worry about, if I wanted to date a female who liked males or masculine identified people, if I didn't have to worry about how she was going to think of me when I took off my clothes, yes, I'd probably be less dysphoric. And maybe it wouldn't go away completely, but maybe I wouldn't make as many changes. Maybe I would do things differently. And I think there's a high probability that a lot of us would do things differently if we were born in a culture where we weren't seen as outcasts, where there was, kind of an accepted spot for us. And so think about that. And, you should definitely check out some of these gender variations, around the world, because they really make you think differently about what transgender means and what it means to you. And I recommend, just for like an intro to gender variations, there's a documentary on YouTube called Middlesex, and I think it gives us, like a great reference point just to even start exploring this concept. So I'd be interested in what you guys think about this whole I was born in the wrong body. So go ahead and leave me a message if you want. Thanks for watching. How the fuck do I turn this off?